Hey guys, let's get you out to Livingston Parish. We are now joined by the Livingston Parish President, Randy Delatte. Sir, kind of fill us in. So the Hurricane Francine has officially made landfall in Louisiana.
Yes, ma'am, it has. First thing I want to do is give a shout out to the citizens of our parish. They are doing the correct thing and by staying home and not getting out on the road. The sheriff just left here not long ago, and he also made that comment: you travel on the road, you don't see any traffic. People are listening, and they are abiding by the things that we ask them to do.
Good. Fill us in on what the parish is looking like, the entire parish.
Okay, the entire parish, we're going to hit a direct hit, and it's got moved to Category 2, so we're going to have some winds in Livingston Parish. There's a lot of dead trees going, so we're going to have some dead trees on the road. We know those things. We're not going to do anything until first light tomorrow morning. The weather has to be 35 miles an hour or less for us to put personnel out there. We have already scheduled our equipment, and we have put it on strategic locations throughout the parish, from Albany to Denham Springs, from Watson to Marport. So we feel like at first light, we're going to have personnel and equipment already in place, and we're going to immediately start clearing roads. Our goal is to make sure people get the electricity as soon as possible. So we have a new OEC center that is very advantageous to us. By looking at it, we can tell which roads are blocked and which are the power main grid lines we have to unblock so we can get the electricity. At morning time, probably about 8 to 9 o'clock, the sheriff has offered his helicopter to the OEC director, Anderson, and myself, and we're going to make a visual of what we see, and we're going to probably tweak our plan somewhat. We know on the lower end we already have water problems. On the lower end we have roads, and I call them lower end anything south of the interstate.
So what towns? That's going to be the Maurepas, French Settlement.
Maurepas, French Settlement, Head of Island, Killian, Clio, all those, Port Benson. Those people. We just did a live shot with another news station, and that shot showed the water coming in very aggressively. We were probably at 20 minutes at the most. It rose 3 inches. So with the rivers already being full, and the hurricane making a direct hit on us, and the rotation of the wind makes the water come in much quicker. So we're going to have about a 4-foot rise right now, is what it's predicting, a 4-foot rise. Those roads will be underwater down on the Marport, Head of Island end, but what that's going to do to people in Walker, say, or even Denham Springs, is the water can't get out because the water's out here. So the water's going to be very slow in getting out, and we're going to have probably another 4 to 5 inches of rain to add to that. But we really feel like the wind damage is going to cause us some small problems in getting roads clear, but our major problem is going to be the water, and the water could be here for as long as a week, depending on which way the wind blows after the storm.
Okay. I guess fill us in as far as right now, for anybody in Livingston Parish, the curfew goes in place from dusk to dawn. And like you already said, people are minding that curfew. They're already staying off the roads. But as far as you guys go, if trees go down, we're already seeing trees going down. It's not just in Livingston Parish, but everywhere from the drought last year. So they're already dead. And the ground is saturated. They're coming down. How important is this, though, that your men and women need to stay off the roads as well? So the next 6 hours, actually longer, I don't know why I said till midnight, basically till tomorrow morning, people need to stay inside.
That's exactly right. You made a great observation. We know even though the power companies have did some preventive maintenance in the last year, we still got trees, whether it was the dry weather or the beetles or whatever, that just standing up, just ready to fall at any moment. And we know that's going to be an issue, and that's what we're going to stay with. But the wind is going to dictate how early we can get there. We're not going to work at nighttime. We anticipate working at around the clock to clear things once the wind gets 35 miles an hour or lower.
Okay.
We're ready to do those things, but we're not going to start to first daylight tomorrow morning.
Okay. Any updates on the rivers?
The rivers are rising, like I said, and that's all of them. That's Tickfar River is out its banks right now at Boot Blues at the public boat lodge. All the water is out its banks. We went from Summit all the way to Morpah, to Bear Island, and the water was out of its banks, and it was rising, like I said, rapidly. It's almost white caps with the water coming in through the Divergent Canal, which is connects Blonde River to Amite River, and that's water coming straight out of Lake Morpah. So that water, if you look at it, you get a live shot at it, you can see almost white caps of it rippling towards the north part of our parish. And so we know when the hurricane passes back, the southern part of the hurricane will push some of the water out. But it's after the hurricane gets out, what wind do we have? Do we have an east wind, a southeast wind, or do we have a north or west? So that's going to determine how long the water is going to be in.
Okay. Anything else you would like to tell the constituents in Livingston Parish?
What I want to tell those guys, our constituents, is that we have people on the ground that have been trained to do this. We have, since January, went through mock drill after mock drill after mock drill. I'm not going to say we're not going to have any failures, but if we have any failures, we have a remedy and a procedure that we're going to attack those failures in, and we're not going to make that same failure twice in a row. We're going to, after this storm passes, I don't want to give bad news, but we have the capability to look past this. There's 3 storms out in the Atlantic Ocean right now. One of those 3 storms is probably going to come and see us next week or week after next at the latest. So we got to be prepared at this one. We were lucky, even though it's a direct hit, that this wasn't a category 3, 4, or 5 storm. But the next one could be.
Exactly.
So we're going to stay trained, we're going to stay ready, and we're going to be available to our citizens. We have made everything, all our information transparent. It's all been all over the place. You have helped us share that information, and our citizens are very proud of that.
Well, good. Well, Parish President Randy Delatte joining us. We appreciate you. Thank you so much for filling us in, and please keep us updated throughout this storm.
Thank you so much. And I just want to make one thing quite clear. Chris Anderson, our new OEP director, is a superstar. The way that he organized things, his ability to communicate those things is something Livingston Parish never had before, and we are proud to have it.
Well, good. Good.
So,
Well, y'all keep us updated and y'all stay safe.
thank you so much, Karen.